Hey guys, it's Julia and welcome back to my channel. And for today's video, I have my September 2025 reading wrap up. So I'm pretty happy with how I did this month in terms of my reading. I read kind of a wide range of stuff. Some extreme horror, a classic. I flip-flopped a little, a romance, a Stephen King. So overall, I think it was pretty good. I'll put some stats on the screen if you guys are interested in that kind of thing. How many books, how many pages, how many whatever genres. Anything that's interesting. Coming up first is Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. This is a book that I read, I think 6 years ago. If I check my Goodreads review, 6 years ago, 10 years ago, I don't know. This edition is pretty much all interactive. I made like a little short video of the little interactive things in this book, so I'll link that down below. But it's just like the most beautiful little illustrations and like super cool interactive pieces that you can turn and play with and stuff. I wanted to give this a reread because last month I read The Child Thief and I really enjoyed that, and I wanted to see how it compared to this because I hadn't read this in so long. Honestly, I think this book was better on my first read, but I still did enjoy it. The reason why I read it was because I read the retelling and I wanted to compare. You know, The Child Thief focused on the Lost Boys and Peter specifically. We hear a lot about Wendy that we don't hear about in The Child Thief because that's not what the focus is, but it was interesting. Okay, so next up here I have a big surprise. This one I picked up because it was extreme horror. It's called The Hair. I didn't know what it was. Has a weird cover. I was like, extreme horror, sure, we'll give it a shot. Knew nothing. And I would recommend going into it that way. But basically it's an elderly main character, which we never really get often. Basically it was like a flesh-eating eye that starts to evolve over time, and it was so cool. Very cool concept. I definitely really enjoyed my time reading this. I loved it. I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. Next up here I read The House on Abigail Lane. This was one that I heard of from the Tiny Terrors book club that Allie has. I missed this month that they did that, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna read it. I actually realized I do have a physical copy. It's just downstairs. Damn it. I thought I brought all the other ones up. Basically, this is strange cases happening in a house, mystery haunted house type thing, going back to 1956 and what they discover. It's super short. It's a novella. I did like it. I gave it 3.5. It wasn't anything too outstanding, but I did enjoy it. Now we got one that's everywhere right now, and that's Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I wasn't gonna read this because I don't read that much romance anymore. This one I picked up on Kindle Unlimited. They had it on there. Did end up enjoying it. Basically, this girl moves to a new small town. She is going to take over, I think it's her grandmother's cafe. It's someone that she's related to. She goes over to take care of their cafe and work there. She meets all the other owners of the cute little shops down the road, and there's a little bit of drama, a little bit of romance, a little bit of spice at the end, but not much at all. Yeah, if you're looking for like a small town romance thing, I think it'd be fun. If you read a ton of romance, I don't think this one's gonna do much for you. But it is a nice, cozy fall read if you're looking for that. Hansel and Gretel, this is released this month. This is Stephen King, and then this is the author of The Wild Things, who illustrated it. This is just a tale of Hansel and Gretel. I really enjoyed it. It's a picture book. I thought it was good. The art is beautiful, so unique. I knew this artwork looked familiar, so the combo of them two, illustrating and writing, was kind of fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I read Pumpkinheads. I read this just for the purpose of fall. This is basically a young adult graphic novel about this girl that works at a pumpkin patch. She kind of has a relationship with the guy. They're kind of like end of season, you know, so they're gonna like stop working there. It's gonna shut down, so you know, that's the vibe. Pumpkin patch romance, adorable art, cute writing style. And this is a reread. I've read this 2 or 3 times before. It's super fun, light, perfect little fall graphic novel if you're looking for one. And next up here, I have The Long Walk by Stephen King. I did make a whole review video for this, so I'll link that if you guys want to check that out. 100 guys have to participate in this long walk that they have. They start with 100, they end with 1. There's one winner at the end, and they walk until they can't anymore. Did really enjoy this. This was a reread. I wanted to go see the movie, so I reread this. I did really like it. Between a 3.5 and a 4, but yeah, my review talks more about that. But I also really enjoyed the film, if any of you guys saw the film as well. Next up here, I read This Damned House. So this is the same author who wrote Disco Rice, which is another extreme horror book that I read a month ago, 2 months ago, I don't know. It's about a man on a hill, super ominous man on a hill, and there's 4 novellas that all center around that premise and all have their own unique thing going on. It's kind of wild. Definitely a lot of trigger warnings for that one. I do usually put the storygraph pages in the description so you can check out trigger warnings if you need to. One of the stories in here reminded me of The Slob. It was all about, you know, living in filth. It was wild, probably one of my favorite stories in that collection. It was all about a drunk clown and her journey. Then there was one with people's bodies rotting. They just start slowly rotting and the people are like, what the fuck is going on? The last one was this family was getting mysterious pictures and videos of themselves doing disgusting things, horrible things. And someone was like, you know, here's proof you did this awful thing, but you didn't do that awful thing, but there's proof of it for some reason. So how that happens and how that affects a family. This one a 3.5. I did quite enjoy it. I do want to pick up more by this author. I'll probably read the second book. It's probably gonna be another 4 novellas about this in this town. Next up here I have Strange Pictures. So this is written by the same guy who wrote Strange Houses, which I've read recently as well. Last one was about floor plans. This one was about children's drawings that are, you know, more fucked up than they look. People analyzing them, people looking into this family, and it's a huge mystery. An example is this one, and them trying to figure out what does this mean, what's wrong with it, what does it mean that the kid drew that, etc. But yeah, it was good. I just thought I'd love this one more. I think even between the two, like I can debate with myself if which one I like more, but they're both around like a 3.5 read for me. I still did like them and would recommend them if you're interested. This one was less of a stretch than Strange Houses in my opinion, so number 10, we have Dead Body Disposal. This is by John Athen, a extreme horror writer. I've read a few things by him already and they're always terrifying, grotesque, and a lot, but super interesting every single time. This book off with a guy who's kind of in a panic in an apartment. He calls his friend over and says like, you really gotta help me. And there's a dead body there and they gotta figure out, how do I get rid of this dead body without alerting anybody, without the smell spreading, and then also trying to get it out of that. It was a hotel. It was a hotel or it was an apartment? How do you dispose of a body when you can't just take it out the door? So it was interesting. The criminology brain and me loved it. The only problem with this one was I knew the twist. It was pretty obvious. It was fascinating to watch the main character losing his mind, his thought process for how he's gonna get rid of this body. Very interesting, very graphic. I would recommend it if you like scary things. If you want to be uncomfortable, read that. But I gave it a 3.5. Last but not least, I read Battered Broken Bodies. This is a extreme horror anthology. This one is all about body horror and oh my god, it had so much in it. I'll put some of my favorite stories on the side here because I have to like go back and look. I have to go back and look because I think there was like 20 stories in here. It was a lot of extreme horror authors, including John Athen, who participated in this. The author of Playground did, some other people did as well. And all the stories were super interesting. Like some of the weirdest shit I've read, so keep that in mind. But if you want body horror, that's it. That was my September wrap up. I hope you guys had a good reading month, a good month in general. Let me know what you're reading for October. I'm thinking about doing an October TBR, but I think some of you guys know that I go into books sometimes not knowing that much, so I feel bad making a video if I'm just like, yeah, I don't know what it's about. So, I don't know. Maybe I still will. But thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you next time with a new video.